I'll take a few minutes. Hello and welcome. My name is Shannon Fisher, Tarot of Evanescence Enterprises, here with the very first official weekly live stream of the general collective forecast for all of us using tarot and oracle cards, as well as my intuition, channel, telepathy, empathy. Have quite a few different abilities that are online, so I'll be opening up and using all of what I have to deliver the best guidance possible for all of us, just to help us navigate through the upcoming days of the week ahead of us here, because there are lots of huge shifts happening, and sometimes it's hard to navigate. So I have been providing free readings for the General Collective for quite a few years over on my Facebook page. The last year has been a little bit challenging as far as using that particular platform. So I'm now transitioning over to YouTube. I don't know why I have been procrastinating to get on YouTube, but here I am, January 2nd. Well, I did do an official post yesterday too. So this year's a completely different year, and I'm changing platforms. Figuring out what the best course of action is to go with the flow on my journey here. And I want to welcome everybody for joining me. So while we wait for people to pop in, and before I get started, I have pulled all the cards already. I'm going to just take a moment. So whether you're here live or catching the replay, just for now, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Hopefully you can hear the music that I have playing right now. Allow that music to permeate through your energy field. Focus on that breath. And breathe in deep. And on the exhale, allow yourself to fully exhale the breath. This exercise can be done at any point in your life during the days and during the moments where you may feel overwhelmed or something is happening. You might get triggered by something. Always do your best to be aware of what you're feeling, and if you are reacting in a moment or responding, because they're two very different energies. When we react, we're reacting from a place of the past. We're looking at a situation presently as if it's the same thing as the past. It's no different because our body is remembering the past and activating all those feelings and memories in our muscle tissue, in our cells that are there, which makes it feel like that same thing is happening now when it's not. So it's really important to discern the situation for what it is in the present moment, but we have to check in. You have to check in. So when you feel that overwhelm or that anxiety start to come in, you can always stop what you're doing. If you have to go to the bathroom to get out of a group of people or whatever, do that by all means. And close your eyes and take in those deep breaths. I promise you, by the time you get to the fifth deep breath all the way in and all the way out, you will have brought yourself back to the present time, here and now, in your physical body, where you can now clearly assess your situation from a witness point of view, not a reactive past perspective. Okay. The breath. What a beautiful stabilizer. If only we were taught this a long time ago, we could have been managing ourselves so much better right from a little wee age. But better to learn these things late than never. I always say. And now that we know, do your best to pass on that information to as many people, especially the young ones, that you can, because they don't need to go through what we went through, not knowing who they are and how to manage themselves in a world that has them comparing themselves to everybody else. Mm. We're in for some big changes, but the changes start with us, right? We walk the talk. We take one step forward. Our actions and our accountability for our actions is how we actually show people, teach people. So, okay, without further ado, this week's general collective forecast. So, what I mean by general collective meaning the human collective, okay, the consciousness collective of all of us. So it's very general, these readings that I'm going to give, because everybody's got their own thing that they've got going on. So I invite you to tap in through your heart space. And sorry, I'm getting distracted here because I'm waiting for people to come and join the live with me. And so if you are here live, please type in the comments to let me know that you're here. And I think what I'm going to do is, if nobody is able to join the live today, which is absolutely fine, eventually it will start happening. But for today, if I don't have any live readings to do after the general reading here for all of us, what I'm going to do for you guys, for anybody watching the replay of this particular video, if you type in or email me, okay, so it's going to be very important that you watch the whole video to know how to do this. You will need to email me to let me know that you did watch the very first video on the replay, so which was January 2nd today at 9 a.m. So if you just let me know in the email that you did watch this video and that you would like to have, or spirit, you are searching for some kind of guidance and hoping to get that from like on a personal level, because you're going to get messages from the collective reading. But if you are really looking for something else, just email me, let me know you watched this video, and I will privately send you a message there. Otherwise, moving forward, if you do want a personalized message for free, you will need to join the live. I know I picked a very interesting time to do these videos, Monday at 9 a.m. I have not been in the 9 to 5 aspect of work for quite some time, so I thought Spirit was playing a joke on me, telling me I needed to do this on Monday at 9, but I get it now. I get why they're doing it. So it's absolutely fine. Changing things up. Once a week on one day is not a bad thing at all. So, and I am so happy to be doing this. So there will be times where I'll jump on and do spontaneous live readings, like not general collective ones, unless there's a message coming in for everybody and I need to get it out right away. So it'll be spontaneous that way. But other times where I'll pop on live later on in an evening. I'm over in beautiful British Columbia in Canada, just so you guys know, on the West Coast. So the time zone here is Pacific Standard Time, just so you know. So you can convert your time wherever you are on this beautiful globe, and schedule for these if you would like to be a part of it. Okay, so taking care of that. Now, the other part here for everybody. Spirit has no limits or boundaries on how it delivers its messages to us. And it comes very different ways. A lot of people, when they're on a spiritual awakening or just aware that the universe is communicating, will start to see numbers, repeating numbers all the time. And that's a universal language with spirit and us is through the numbers, because numbers also have energy like color and have meaning and all that. So we call those angel numbers, and you can look those up. So whenever you're seeing repeating numbers over and over and over in a day, please know spirit's really trying to get a message to you. So look up those numbers online to see what kind of angelic message is coming through for you. And 9 out of 10 times you can be blown away at how accurate it is. So please don't be alarmed when you actually realize you've never been alone. And spirit can hear our thoughts. So there's absolutely nothing that can be hidden from all that is. Good luck, keep believing and trying to believe that your thoughts are your own and no one or nothing else can hear you. It's something to get used to. We're not alone. All right. Now, looks like I have a couple people watching. Oh, please comment. Let me know who's here. Hello. All right. So Spirit has no limits or boundaries on how it delivers our messages to us. So as long as we have an open heart and an open mind and get rid and let go of any expectations on what information you want and allow yourself to receive what you need. So this is how we kind of get our ego out of the way, open our heart, which is connected to our soul and our higher selves, and that will allow us to receive what we want without allowing our shadow or ego, which resides only in the mind, to doubt, be skeptical, and just, resist what it is that we're looking for. Okay, so be open to receive. When I'm giving messages to other people and you're hearing them, or you're here on a replay and been hearing messages for other people, if it's resonating with you, meaning if it feels like I'm reading for you, please know that that's spirit's way of nudging you by giving you those feelings that reading is actually for you at that time as well. Okay, it's not either or in this life. It's very interesting, and it's helpful to understand and switch into that mindset that with everything, it's this and that. It's not either or, black or white. It's black and white. And all the spectrum in between. Right? Okay. So for this upcoming week here, I've got the Ascended Masters Oracle in front of me. I pulled 3 cards so we can kind of split the first message to be maybe what we're working with over the next couple of days. The second message is going to be working over the next couple of days after that. And then the final message will be wrapping up the end. Now, it's never written in just that way, right? Or delivered just that way. It's also going to be a combination of all 3 that can be applied right here and now and stretched out through the whole week, right? Maybe one of these messages are going to resonate with you throughout the whole week and the rest of them don't. That's okay too. Please allow yourself to trust what is meant for you. Take in what is, let go what's not. And if something else becomes relevant down the road, please know that that is absolutely a thing as well. So I invite you to come back and watch the replay when new things come up. So after I pulled the 3 cards from the Ascended Masters, I do have an additional message of guidance coming from this other deck, the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. I got this beautiful crystal here. Okay, so now when I pull the main messages, so I said I've pulled 3 messages from the Ascended Masters for this week for us, plus 1 additional message. Now, how I work when I work with the cards is once I pull the main messages, what remains at the bottom of the deck is a bigger picture overview of what's going on. So I want to say a spiritual perspective, your higher self perspective, um, and the energetics of what's going on, because the main messages are kind of pertaining to what we're going to be experiencing in our physical reality. Okay. So I'm going to start with a bigger picture of what we have looking forward um, to experience as a general collective for this week. The first message we got from the Ascended Masters is Ascended Master Vishnu with a message of trust. So the things that we are going to be experiencing and working through this week, energetically, it involves flexing that faith muscle, right? Trusting the work you've done for yourself and whatever you're working towards, as well as um, having that connection to the unseen world of all that is, the higher power, if you will, trusting and having faith that you are connected to it and that it is helping you. Okay. And then the second message in the bigger picture here, in the energetics from the crystals, we got the golden healer. And I feel like the golden healer is like a shaman type of energy. It's quantum healing, right? It's the ability to be able to clear and cleanse and get aligned. That's interesting. I'm going to read from the book on that one. I have not been guided to pull these cards out for quite some time, like over a year. So the golden healer, ultimate healing. And golden healers are imbued with powerful transformative healing energies. They are a catalyst for profound spiritual activation. The divination for us here is, and remember this is a part of the bigger picture for this upcoming week, recognize your potential to be an amazing healer. Your abilities needed honing, and those who heal are soul scored to deep empathy. Much in your life needs transformation. Surrender willingly to the process. Someone clinging to the past may be holding you back, so encourage them to let go. You may be asked to transform your environment or take a challenging task, so do so with grace and ease. So, healing insight of this particular message, Spirit's guiding me to let you know. It says, healing flows through you. It's a process, not something that you do. You allow. Okay. This is the problem. When we get stuck with our ego, our shadow, and we're only in the mind, we're always trying to figure it out. So we're not trusting that there's a process. Like, we don't need to figure out our human body at all. It is so innately intelligent. It keeps itself alive even while we're sleeping, right? We trust that. We have no doubt that our bodies are going to keep working the way that they need to, providing we're working with them to the best of our ability. Some of us have room for improvement there, and we're working on it. So, but needless to say, we all have stories, we all have a past, and we all have levels of healing. I believe in the world that we live in here, there's all kinds of healing that is taking place right now. And there's global healings too, believe it or not. The world is not all bad. So you gotta be very careful. We're not just hyper focused on situations that are trying to tell us this whole world is something that is not. It's not. You do not lose sight of the beauty. Okay, so if you have not been focused on any kind of beauty in this world, I invite you now to redirect your focus and look for that. All right. Our first message from the Ascended Masters for this week is to stay focused. Ascended Master Kuthumi wants to let us know that it's important that what we're doing this week, our goals, what we're setting our intentions to, that we say no to other people's attention and attempts at pulling us away from what it is that we know we need to take care of. That doesn't mean we can't help them out afterwards, but make sure that we are focused on what it is that we need before we go out and take care of others' needs. Okay? Or help others with their needs, because we can't take care of their needs for them. Right? Yes, but we can definitely support them, but we are only as good to others as we are to ourselves. And if we keep putting ourselves on the back burner for other people, then we're actually not showing up for those other people in with our full potential, because we have not been showing up for ourselves in that way. This is something I have been learning very strongly over the last couple of years, the importance of self-care and making sure that I do this inner work and, really take good care of myself before I go out and work with my clients or, interact with my friends and my family and help anybody out. If I haven't already helped myself, then I'm working from a less than optimized energetic field, right? So it's not selfish to take good care of yourself. It's imperative. So that's another thing. Let's release judgments. So staying focused. So just saying no to other people that are calling you up saying, hey, I got to do this. Can you help me? If you're right in the middle of something, it's okay to lovingly say, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. You don't have to explain yourself, but let them know, if you still need my help after I've taken care of this, then, I'll give you a shout and see where you're at. Otherwise, maybe it's something you really don't want to have anything to do with because it's not your thing. That's okay too. You can just say, no, I'm sorry, I'm really busy here. You're going to have to find someone else. Right? And we all have to stop taking things as a personal attack that people don't like us because they said no, because that's not what's going on. Okay, but staying focused on what we need to do with our own intentions for our own self-care is imperative this week. And Archangel Michael's coming in with the second message of you can do it. So we have the encouragement from our spirit guides, the angelics from Archangel Michael here as well, if you believe in that kind of thing, but our higher self and the universe itself, right? Great Spirit itself. We have all kinds of support around us, physically and non-physically. And there's that saying, ask and you shall receive. So ask for additional support energetically. Ask for extra strength. Call on Archangel Michael to cut cords, energetic cords with other people, places, and ideas that may not have been in alignment with the greater good and are not meant to be in your life, but we're still kind of holding on to it. Now's the time to cut away from those things. And we are really, I feel, we're really going to come into, they're saying honing in by around Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to hone in with this energy and realize, yes, I can do it. Right? So I love it. Archangel Michael. It drops in my head when his card comes up here. He's do the mantra. He loves it. So this mantra or positive affirmation over and over. I like to say it and sometimes sing it. And by the time I've done it 3 or 4, or by the 5th time of saying this, I've like literally raised my vibration very quickly. So it's something you can do too. And it helps to flip that switch from a negative mindset into a positive one. So it's I can and I will. 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 Because really, if you believe in your, if you believe, whatever you believe will be true for you. But beliefs are not necessarily the truth. Yes, dive into that rabbit hole. But it literally, our minds are so flippin' powerful. It's ridiculous. But if we believe that we cannot do something, you're right, and you will not be able to do it. But if you change your mindset and program yourself to believe you can, guess what? You will. You will. And it may not be easy, or it may be easier than you thought, right? Sometimes our minds can conjure up some things and make us feel that something really isn't for us because it's so unfamiliar. And, we've conjured up these worst case scenarios about something that we have no idea about. And then we don't take a chance. We don't take a leap of faith and try it out. Could have just missed out on one of the main deliveries and manifestations of our heart's true desires. Was that worth it? No, regrets are not great. But you can learn from them, right? Saying, hey, next time this opportunity comes up and I'm kind of feeling apprehensive, there's an element of excitement there. I think I'm going to explore it this time, see where it goes. Nothing's ever written in stone. Just because we make a choice about something, if it doesn't end up working out, guess what? You get to make a new choice and move in a different direction. We're not as stuck as we keep telling ourselves we are. We believe we are, so we stay there. That's how it works. But if you don't want to be stuck anymore, all you have to do is tell yourself, well, there are options. I may not see them right now, but there are options, and I'm going to now open myself up to the possibilities of what my choices are. And then with that statement and intention, you start to open yourself up and move forward. Okay, and then near the end of the week, and there's going to be a shift in energy. We got Baba G here with yoga. So this card is literal and metaphorical together. It's this and that. So quite literally, a yoga practice or some form of yoga practice will be extremely beneficial for everybody. For me, I'm more drawn to Tai Chi and getting into a daily routine of Tai Chi, right? I've been procrastinating that. So this is one of my intentions and goals for this year. So good to know by the end of this week, I will have incorporated this shift of energy because I'm working on it, right? That was my plan. So this is where I'm at, just as an example for you guys and how it might look for you. So if you don't already do yoga or you've done it once in a blue moon, you might be shifting into doing a more regular routine with it, or any other form of like moving meditation, something where you're really present with your body and your environment and yourself. But there's also the shift of energy, which is really good because, there's been a whole lot of hustle and bustle in the last month, and lots of celebrations, which are really, really good. And, that's wonderful. But we need to have equal amounts of downtime. So if we're hitting the ground running and we're running hard for weeks on end, well, we're going to crash pretty hard for weeks on end. And we shouldn't do that. Every single day should be balanced. If you're going to go hard for 2 hours, make sure you rest for 2 hours in that day. Bring in the balance. And yes, you can do it. Soon as you decide that you want to change things in your life, all you have to do is ask the universe to give you the opportunities to do so. So we're going to try to get rid of that mindset of there's not enough time in a day, because there is. Absolutely. You make it. You make it what it is. Okay, and our final message for the upcoming week here is we got the Nirvana quartz. Nirvana quartz. So this crystal, that word nirvana feels very peaceful, right? But just looking at the crystal itself in the picture there, it feels very similar to the golden healer energy. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. So I feel there's a lot more, I want to say peaceful energy to work with the golden healer energies of whatever, I want to say quantum healing that's taking place on an individual level, but also for the collective. Because what happens on a micro level also has an impact on a macro level. All right, so this one, 29, let's see. Yes. The Nirvana quartz represents enlightenment. So the Nirvana quartz assists in stepping off the karmic wheel, bringing light and bliss consciousness. Step off the karmic round and allow the karma of grace to manifest. Open yourself to receive enlightenment. Recognize this as a new beginning of fresh energy. If you're experiencing traumatic times and soul challenges, relax and wait for a resolution. Do not push against the river. Go with the flow. The healing insight here is karma is created in each moment by every thought and deed. Uplifting thoughts and positive actions ensure your future well being. So, there is a misconception out there that karma is something that is just connected to some kind of negative deed, and that karma comes back to you. There's that saying, karma is a biatch. Well, it can be. I mean, the universal law of cause and effect is what karma is. Karma is just their human word for the universal law of cause and effect. Everything we do, say, and act upon will have an effect out in the quantum field, right? Good, bad, and all levels of good and bad in between. Doesn't matter. We keep judging things as one thing, we're going to miss out on the opportunities of learning so much more, right? So karma is not bad at all. It's the universal law of cause and effect. So with the Nirvana quartz message for this week, we are all being asked to step back, really retreat for a minute, allow yourself to relax. Do what's needed to relax. Give yourself a full hour of relaxation time if that's what you need. More if you need it, right? I can just hear so many people saying, "Oh, I got this, I got this." Call someone. Say, "Hey, I just need a little help. Can you watch, if you got kiddos, can you watch my kids for a minute? Half an hour, something." Remember, with Archangel Michael, you can do it. Now I understand why I had that saying repeating in my head earlier this morning. When there's a will, there's a way. But you cannot override your will over someone else's. It's another universal law. But when there's a will, there's a way. So if you have a will to accomplish something within yourself and a mastering of some aspect of yourself, or to succeed in some area of your life, and it has nothing to do with dominating, manipulating other people, then you can absolutely create what you're looking for. But you have to embody that mindset that you can, right? I can and I will. And of course, without the mindset of um, if there's a will, there's a way, right? It makes it a lot harder too. So I've always had that. When there's a will, there's a way. I remember even as a teenager, that was always in the back of my mind. Or I guess this was one of those cognitive knowings, like deep within my soul. Like, how do you know you know? I don't know. I know. I just feel it with every fiber of my being. And lo and behold, I mean, my experiences kind of prove that very thing. I can do it. I couldn't do things that I told myself I couldn't do. That was true too. So we're right in either way. Um, but yeah, we're for this week we're being asked not to force anything to happen, right? Stay focused on what you've set for your own intentions so that you can execute it and get them done. Because this week's a game changer. By the end of it, we're implementing this new stuff for ourselves this week, and it's going to set the stage and the ball to keep rolling forward, right? But we're not here to micromanage every little thing. We need to have trust and faith in the universe that is absolutely supporting us. And if we don't see it that way, it is time to retrain the brain and refocus a mindset into a more positive one. Okay. Oh, so Prachi, hello. Are you still here? Prachi, if you are still here, I'm wondering, I had a couple people watching, but they popped off. All right, so I'm not going to go ahead and pull any cards because nobody is on with me right now. And that is okay. Like I said throughout the video before, and if you've made it to the end on the replay, if you would like to have a free mini reading message from one, or no, I'm going to give you one message out of each deck that I was using here for today. So one message from the Ascended Masters and one message from the Crystal Wisdom Oracle. You can, in order to receive these free messages from me, you can either find me on Facebook and private message me through Messenger. You can email me, or if you go to my website at www.webinescence.ca, you can, my phone number is listed there as well, so you can text me if you phone and I don't recognize the phone number. I may just let it go to voicemail so that I can see. There's been a lot of cold calling happening lately, so I'm very careful with who I pick up for. So please leave a message if you are trying to contact me directly through the phone so that I can get back to you. Otherwise, an email works as well. And I look forward to be able to bring this information to you, new information to you each week. Couple other things I want to let you know. The moon phase that we're in right now is the waxing gibbous. I believe we're at almost 90% of fullness. We're getting up there. The full moon is this coming January 6th at 3:07 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the 6th, that's 4 days away from now, right? So if you guys watched the video from yesterday, there's things that we could be doing leading up to. There was 2 messages in there with exercises that we can do to work with this full moon. So I highly recommend that you Get ready for that, because we one of those we had to do something the night before the full moon, so that would be January 5th. Okay, we are currently in Mercury retrograde. It started officially December 28th and will end January 18th. So it usually is about 3 weeks when it's in its intensity of that, turning back before it goes forward. Um, and then there's a shadow period of up to like 7 days before and after. So during this Mercury retrograde, it doesn't have to be difficult. Again, change your mindset. If you're like, oh my God, not Mercury retrograde again. Change your mindset. It doesn't have to affect you that badly. Maybe it did in the past, and that's okay. Let that go. But embrace this time with a new mindset and perspective that Mercury retrograde is a time for us to step back and get a little more clear with our intentions and our communications with each other. Yes, there will be some, because Mercury is the planet of communication. So it does energetically have effects and can cause glitches, if you will, in operating systems, electronics, and stuff like that. And it also has an energetic effect on our communication with each other. So if we're not clear with our words, if we're not impeccable with our words, and we're not speaking directly to people, then messages are going to get lost in translation. So, highly recommend, to make Mercury retrograde easier for you, disengage from interacting so much outside of yourself, especially on social media sites, right? You cannot hear the voice of the words being spoken when someone's typing. You interpret what you're reading and insert the tone of the word that you're reading based on your perspective, not theirs, which ends up changing the whole dynamic of what the intended message was all about, and then changed into something that it's not because you were interpreting it from yourself. This causes miscommunication, misunderstandings, and a lot of problems. So try to avoid text messaging during this time. If you need to speak to someone, or you should speak to someone directly, whoever's involved, not other people who might know what's going on. No, horse's mouth. Go straight to it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Go to the horse's mouth and ask for the clarity from them that they know, because it came from them, right? So if you get confused about something, be upfront about that and go, hey, am I right with how I'm interpreting this? If I'm not, well, great. I don't want to be right. If especially if it wasn't making, a lot of sense, or it wasn't making me feel very well. But yeah, so with that, then you can get it cleared up. And the best way to do that, though, again, don't text message. Actually do a voice call if you cannot be in person with someone, or better yet, do a video conference. It's always better. But the voice, bare minimum, you need to hear how they're using their words in order to understand what the message actually was all about. Otherwise, it will get misinterpreted, because everybody is operating at their own, from their own experiences, and it is in their own energy and space. And so when we are start reading something from somebody else, we're reading it based on where we're at in that moment, not where that person was. So take your time, do what you need to get centered and balanced. Good self-care, very important. Shift the energies in your life by doing what you can for yourself and with yourself, in order to get those changes reflected back to you with our outside world. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. If you're looking for anything else that I might be able to offer and help you with, please visit the website or reach out to me directly and ask your questions or set up an appointment. And I look forward to doing more of these um, weekly forecasts for you guys. Well, for all of us, it's for me as well. So keep shining bright. Please know, take that note from Archangel Michael. You can do it. Invoke that faith and trust in yourself and the universe and take one step forward today. From my heart to yours, shine bright, for we are all beautiful souls. Namaste. I'll see you soon.